Do you know what I respect? I respect freedom. What do you respect? What do you respect?
What's up?
Take a seat. Sit down. Sit the down. That's right.
I have a 40-year-old son. He probably not even.
As John Oliver would say, cool. So that apparently took place on a New York City subway. It was a man refusing to wear a mask, which is one thing. Another thing, though, is verbally abusing an elderly woman who chooses to be masked and then attacking the people who stand up for her, shouting that you love freedom and then insisting that other people sit down. They're apparently not free to stand. But Jordan, that guy has apparently now been identified. There's a TikToker who's apparently become a bit of a cyber sleuth, identifying people like that. What are your thoughts?
I mean, this guy's really pathetic. Unfortunately, no one else in the train stepped in to defend this lady, which really sucks. It seems like both people who he dealt with were either older or at least middle-aged and older women. Which is, it speaks volumes about his character and how he ultimately sees himself. That an elderly woman is who he ended up picking on.
Mm-hmm.
If you really want to punch down, I mean, cool, go for it, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, he looked like really pathetic, contemptuous creature. I guess he had been at some sort of like Proud Boy type rally, which is not surprising. But look, man, it sucks.
Oh,
wearing a mask isn't like fun. It's certainly not fun wearing one at the gym, but we all got to do it. And these people are putting themselves before everyone else. And it just really exemplifies who he is.
Yeah, and that it's literally an elderly person, the people who are, uniquely susceptible to COVID. She's trying to protect herself. She has to be on the subway. I'm sure she'd prefer not to, but so you get in her face as you're unmasked. And I'm gonna guess the sort of guy that's probably irresponsible in other ways when it comes to COVID. So that's certainly a choice. But I'm curious about your thoughts about the fact that they tracked down this guy and apparently contacted his job. I thought I had read that he was fired. I'm not sure that is actually the case, but in terms of like strategy, when people like this are identified, and it's becoming more common, you see videos like this pretty much every day around topics like race and topics like COVID. Should they be tracked down? Should we be trying to make examples of them? What do you think about how people should react to these sorts of things when they come across them?
It depends. I don't think there's a uniform, like universal rule for this kind of stuff. I'm generally not into it because I don't think it's a good idea for an internet mob, a vigilante internet mob, to go track down people because they're not always the most careful. For instance, let me preface this: racism definitely exists, and people are racist and terrible. At the Colorado Rockies game a couple weeks ago, there was a misunderstood case of somebody yelling out the mascot's name and people thinking he was saying a racial slur. He is seen on camera in the game footage of pointing at the mascot, looking away from the game, pointing at the mascot, yelling at the mascot's name, which I guess in some muffled footage could be interpreted as a racial slur. That didn't stop people from saying, oh, you know what, maybe he's looking at something else and doing something else. No, they found out who this guy was, tracked him down, and came for his head online. Only later did the team and Major League Baseball say, hey, you know what? Our bad. The Rockies initially put out a statement condemning it. So they really added fuel to the fire, and they were all wrong. So maybe we could just pause for a second. Maybe we don't need to I saw a TikTok, someone was bragging about contacting every member of this guy's family. Why?
Whoa.
Why? They didn't do anything. I'm sure they already know his family member is shitty. Who cares? What are you doing? It's really, really weird that people take this upon themselves to just go out of their way to just, obliterate people's lives. He sucks. I don't think good things should happen to him. I also don't think separately that the internet needs to act in a vigilante mob sort of way.
Yeah, especially in cases where you said where people could mishear something, think they're hearing something else. Like a few seconds ago, people might have thought that you just swore, but you didn't actually. They were mishearing that. But anyway, just kidding. Yeah, I had to look up what the actual mascot for the Rockies is because I did not know. But anyway, yeah, I think that that's a good point. Certainly, there can be stuff that's out of context or wrong. There can also be people who are believed to be identified that are not actually those people. Do we want to be that sort of society? And again, I think that there's a very big difference between, for instance, like there was the Central Park Karen who was literally calling the cops on someone, and the film showed that she was lying about what was going on. So yes, we do need to understand context as well. I think that that's a wise thing that Jordan is saying there.
For more political news, breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.